Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of probably no ages if you've got good parents. Welcome to the show. This is the Top Keck Podcast. My name is Nick, and with me, as always, is Max. Say hi to the folks, Max.
What's up, everybody? How am I looking?
Fly as a motherfucker.
Goddamn right.
All right,
Goddamn
what do
right.
we have on the docket for today there, Maxie?
We got hella shit, man. We can talk about the state of my Bumble account.
Maxie is beating the ladies off with a stick.
That's cap right there. That's such bullshit. Not at all, man. But I'm, things might be turning around. What are we doing here? We can talk about the fact that I just walked out of my job yesterday.
Yes.
We can talk about the state of our firearm collections. Couple things. So why don't you just jump in, get this out of the way, talk about my job real quick. If that's cool.
Yeah, that works.
All right, bet. So, for those who may not know, because you didn't read the description of the podcast because you're a fucking shit piece, but I work in the collision repair business. Worked in the car business since I turned, I think it was 18 when I first got in the car business. So that's 7 years now. And coming up on 8, I believe. So I've worked in this business for a while, and there's a lot of toxicity. There's a lot of bullshit. It's a hard business. I get paid pretty fucking well. I got paid pretty well, to do what I do. And I think I'm pretty good at what I do. But yesterday, which we record on Tuesday, so Monday, I quit my job. I just kind of told my boss and was like, yeah, this is going to be my last day working here. Just got my shit and rolled out. And I don't know, man, I guess it's important to lay out the reason why I left. Because I worked for a small shop, a mom and pop shop. So family members, the entire time I worked there, different scores of family members, there were a bunch of kids that were involved at various points, worked there, and all of them were fucking shitheads. All of them were running the business in the ground. So it was just kind of it was super toxic. My boss was this fucking jerk off. Something would happen that's a problem. And his first response was just, oh, what are we going to do? To the point of where me and the body guys used to make fun of him. Where I was eating lunch one time with one of the body guys, Greg. Shout out to Greg if you're watching this. You're my fucking boy, Blue.
You a real one, Greg.
Yeah, you're a real OG. And he dropped a chip from his lunch, and he's like, "Oh shit, I dropped my lunch. What are we gonna do?" You know what I mean? It was this walking meme of making fun of him just panicking anytime there was a problem. And his solution to every problem was just rage. He was just gonna yell at someone until they fixed it. And so he's just fundamentally incapable of regulating his emotions. He has zero leadership skills. He claims to be a general manager, but can't be bothered to fill out basic paperwork. He's pretty fucking useless, And on top of that, he made a paycheck, which he openly bragged about. Oh, I only make, $60,000 a year or whatever. And I know that might sound like a lot to some people, but we live in a pretty expensive area. But what he neglected to mention was that his parents pay for his mortgage and his truck payment and everything else. So after total compensation is somewhere in the 120 grand a year, realm. So it's fucking ridiculous. Anyways, I'm not gonna shit talk him super hard. But it was just toxic as fuck. And I broke my back for that company. They laid me off for COVID, and then I was brought back because the company was failing. They were in the red. They were losing money on a month-to-month basis. I come back. I helped fix their insurance relationships. I helped fix their numbers. I developed relationships with our DRPs, which are direct repair programs with insurance companies. There were certain people that wouldn't even talk to Rob. They would just talk to me directly, which is hilarious because it used to piss him off so bad. You're not even the manager. It's well, yeah, they're talking to me because they're going to tell me something and I'm going to get it done. So it was I just busted my ass for them. And then, it was pulling teeth trying to get a raise. They brought me in way less than I should have been making. And I was fuck it, I'll take the L up front and I'll show them what I can do. Because I assume the best in people, And long story short, I was just eventually I was just at the point where it's I'm miserable. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I don't want to do anything. I'm just emotionally drained all the time. I'm fuck this. I'm just going to quit. I have money in the bank. I can if I can find a shop that's hiring for an estimator, I can walk in there and get a job. It's just the truth. Like, I'm not being cocky. It's just the truth. I'm good at what I do. I give a fuck. I have great references. If you know people in this business in our area of town, like well-established members, I know people in committees, you know, that the Washington and Baltimore Auto Body Association, you know. So it's like, I'm well known. I was trained by some of the best people in this area. You know, some of the people who have clout. So my name carries weight. But point being, it's like, I just quit. And I was like, fuck this. I'm going to take like 2 or 3 weeks off and just bullshit. I'm going to go to the gym a lot. I was just telling old Nikki Three Legs, I'm going to fucking start meal prepping again, try and get my ass in gear and start losing some weight so we can have a fucking white boy summer, you know? But yeah, man, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to like put that out there. And like, if you're looking for a sign to, if you're listening to this, and like no one is, but if you are, this is your sign to like get out of your toxic relationship or quit your toxic job. Fuck it. It's not worth it. Like, you have so many years on this earth, and it's like, why would you want to be miserable for them? You know, I'm not gonna sell my soul for a job. Fuck that. Like, so anyways, Nick, I don't know if you have any experiences with toxicity in the workplace, or you like to talk about that at all?
Oh, yes, I definitely have experience with toxicity on the workplace. I have worked everywhere from a country club, which obviously a bunch of rich, entitled motherfuckers. I have worked at food service, whereas everyone's a dickhead. I have worked at Petco and got not fired, but put on leave indefinitely from Petco. I've worked at a liquor store, so that's obviously just nuts and bad for someone who's got an alcoholic tendency. Got again put on leave, but not because I did something wrong, it's because I got hurt. And she was like, "Come back when you feel better," and I just didn't ever come back. And I've worked for a girlfriend's dad. That was fucking wild. Great guy. Can't, like, he's kind of a narcissist, kind of a shithead, like, I'm not gonna lie.
He's a great guy. He's just a narcissist, you know?
But like, he's treated...
Great guy. He's a real piece of shit, though.
He's treated me personally really well. Even after she broke up with me, I was like, "Hey, Mike, can I get a bookcase?" He's like, "Yeah." He sells like office furniture. He's like, "Yeah, I'll bring it down from the warehouse. It's completely free." "Hey, Mike, can I get a desk?" "Yeah, here you go." "Hey, can I borrow the box truck to move?" "Here you go. The keys are where they're at." Like,
nice.
Like he hooked me up, but working for him was toxic as fuck because I was like the only employee, and so I was doing the office stuff and the installations, and he is so unorganized, and things have to be his exact way because, like I said, he's a narcissist.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, so toxic workplace is definitely within my realm of experience.
Yeah, well, and your job, and it's not like every day, but your job can definitely go south in a lot of different ways, too. You've told me before. So.
Oh, yeah, I am now an electrician, as I've said in past things, and on the... What is that email? And on the description. But obviously, construction worker, things can get kind of fucked up. I have literally punched my boss in the face.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Because he...
And he didn't even do anything about it, bitch.
Yeah, he just got fucking dogged right in front of everybody and took it. Like, he was screaming at me one day, like, hoarse voice screaming. I told him, "Watch who the fuck you're talking to. I'm not your fucking dog. Next time I'm gonna hit you in your fucking mouth." And it went a while, and then he did it again, and he got hit in the fucking mouth.
Banged him in the mouth, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I almost got in a fist fight at work one time with my boss. But he told me to go out back and have a cigarette and calm down. I'm fucking calm. Calmer than you are. I've been known to fly off the handle. It's one of my biggest character defects, and I text Nick all the time, and he'll attest that I'll text him heated. I'm like, I'm ready to kill a motherfucker. He's like, he's never said it, but it's like, go put your gun in the car. Like, I'll be fucking mad as hell, bro. Because like some dumb shit will happen. Like that's the problem. Like with the last place I worked, like, you know, I get my ass rode about shit. Like I would get hoard for stuff. Like we need to make better gross profit. You know, we need to make a higher profit margin on these tickets, and we need to do this. We need to use a certain type of parts. And then when the insurance companies come down and they're just like, nah, we're not going to do that, you know, or we're not going to pay for that or this, that. He's just like, oh, okay, it is what it is. And I'm just like, what? So hold on. How the fuck am I supposed to accomplish this mission if the ways for me to accomplish that mission, you just immediately concede and write off? You know, so it's just like, it's fucking corny. But anyways, you know, that's toxic jobs, man. Fuck that. Like, and that's the truth too, is I should be making, low key, I probably should be making about $75,000 to $85,000 a year. I think that's what I should be making. I think that's what I'm worth. And that's a lot of money, like, especially for what I do for a living. That's not like pennies. That's some pretty serious bread. But I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm worth it. I work like a motherfucker. I give a shit. I'm up to date on repair procedures. I know how to get paid for shit. Like when cars come in that, you know, with some like when a Geico car rolls in and we're not a Geico shop, I fuck Geico in the ass on a regular basis. And it's all fair. I'm not charging them for shit we're not doing. I'm just nickel and diming them for, bro. I nickel and dimed. I submitted a supplement request for 6 cents. I swear to God, I did. No bullshit. A part came in. It was listed for, in the estimating system, $75. Came in. It was like 75.06, 75.07. You bet your ass I got 10 motherfucking 7 cents. Fuck you. A check came in the mail. My boss bitched at me. Check. Why do I have a check from Geico for 7 cents? And why are we on supplement 20? They were fucking with me. You know, I want my fucking money. So anyways, I don't feel bad about like leaving. I feel I'm upset because I don't get to work with my friends. Like I loved everyone other than my boss. I loved everyone there.
And
these guys
and
were
maybe the car wash guys.
Yeah, fuck that motherfucker. Crackhead. Fucking hate that guy, bro. He lost the keys to my fucking car. I know he did, that motherfucker. Anyways, yeah, so like, I don't know, man. No love lost, but like I still talk to these guys. Like Greg texted me today. He just goes, "It's a shit show," and I sent him the emoji because we all knew it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I put that shop on my back, and my whip, my work in progress, was about 15 cars. Adam, when we're busy, when we're both there working, Adam's whip usually stays under 10 cars. So 150% of what he usually carries just got dropped on in addition to the shit he's already got. Because you know, my boss ain't doing shit. He can't even write an estimate. He literally is incapable of writing an estimate. He'll be like, oh, I'll write this one. And then he'll like be asking me a million questions. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, just leave it. I'll do it faster. And all the time I get up from my computer to walk to help you, back and forth, it would be faster for me to finish what I'm doing and then do that. So anyways, it's just mad corny. And they didn't even ask me to stay. You know, they basically just told me the mom, who's like in her 70s, told me like, you can come back and work for us anytime. She's like, no love lost. You can use me as a reference, whatever. So that was cool. And when I told my boss, who is basically a man child, he was just kind of like, he just goes, okay. I'm like, all right, go fuck yourself. Today's my last day then. You know, I was going to put my 2 weeks in. I was going to be a nice guy, but it's like, you don't give a fuck? All right, bet. If it doesn't matter, I'll just leave now. Because if you don't need me here, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What am I doing here? You know, being a fucking schmuck. And then even when I quit the last like 4 hours or whatever the day, he tried to whore me on everything. He was trying to whore me on shit. And I was just like, nah, not happening. So it's all good. Like, I'm not tripping. That place is going to fall apart. And apparently it's for sale. Low key. The word on the street is allegedly. I don't want to get, sued for slander. Allegedly, that place is for sale. And then we asked the mom about it. And she's like, no, couldn't be. And she gave up this like bullshit story. And I just like, when I heard it, I was like, that doesn't sound right. And then I heard from a little birdie who I trust emphatically in the business that said, hey man, the shop you work at's for sale. This was last night. I found that out after I quit. But,
shit.
Yeah. So if I had $4 or $5 million, I'd buy that motherfucker right now. That's prime location. That place could be an ATM. I'd turn that bitch into an ATM if I was a boss, guaranteed. Give me 6 months. I'll have that bitch doing 330, 350. Jumping.
Moneymaker max.
I'll be smoking blunts on the roof. Just on a lawn chair with one of those mirrors. You know what I mean? Just getting a tan on, man. Just getting a tan on. All right. Anyways, yeah. Toxic work. Fuck that. What else you want to talk about, Nikki Three Legs? What are you thinking? Because you know a couple of topics. Where do you want to shift to?
Let's go ahead and shift towards guns now.
Okay. why don't you bust down your newest projects and what you're thinking about? And this is fucking cool. I will say, Nick turned me on to this. This is fucking sick. This is fucking sick.
Alrighty.
Yep. Let them know what's up.
This is my new clear, just so everyone can see it. This is my new self-built Glock 19 from a Polymer 80.
Mm-hmm.
I went with a threaded barrel, so your boy can get a silencer, so that I can.
I didn't even realize you were wearing that shirt this whole time. That's hilarious.
But yeah, this thing was pretty sweet. Yeah. Like if anyone says you're saving money building a gun versus buying it, they're full of shit. Because like I spent as much, if not more, than a Glock 19. But like, it took a little bit of doing.
Yeah. But you have the added perks that no Glock 19 ever has.
Yeah,
or comes factory with, I should say. To build that same gun, like if you bought a Glock 19 and built a replica, like the exact thing you built, I think it would be about the same price.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's obviously, because it's off a Polymer 80, unserialized. So this is what the Polymer 80 comes as. You put these two rails in. You've got to file down spots here, 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 and here. Drill 3 holes, 1 in the back, 2 up here, and then there's a barrel stop, I think they call it. You file down there, and that's pretty much it.
I should go get mine because mine's completely untouched.
Yeah.
Let me go get mine real quick. Talk to the people.
So it was actually pretty easy. It took me like an hour to do all the milling and stuff. Had to wait for the parts. You put together the slide and everything. It's got a bunch of springs, bunch of pins, the ejector, everything. And when you're building the Polymer 80, there's always going to be some sort of issue. Mine was I couldn't get the slide on and off easily. So I filed down the center of this frame rail, and it went perfectly. And I put on a Streamlight TLR7A flashlight, bright as shit.
Mm-hmm. Holy fuck. Your camera just fucked up, dude. It looked like you were getting abducted by aliens.
Yeah, so this is really cool. I went and shot it for the first time yesterday.
Runs pretty good.
No issues. Even with the build kit mags, like there was 1 or 2 jams, but it was at the end of a magazine, and that's going to work itself out as I go.
Mm-hmm.
So I really couldn't be happier. I want to start building these things all the time now. Like, to be honest, they're so much fun.
Yeah. So this is how it comes.
Yeah.
You can see that piece right there that hasn't been filed out yet. Mine is totally untouched. This is how they come from the factory.
Yeah. No holes.
So
all the fucking...
There's no hardware in the top.
Yeah.
You know, it's completely untouched. And then it comes in this jig where for the uncultured, where it has little slots where you drill everything out, and it tells you what to do and what drill bits to use.
Yep.
For here and here, so pretty cool.
And Polymer 80s normally come with the drill bits you need, the jig, and then the frame and rails. So it's pretty sweet.
Hardware, drill bits.
All for between like $100 and $160.
Yeah, I think mine was this jig, what I just showed. I think that was $140.
What's that?
They went up. This was after they were talked about banning ghost guns.
Yeah.
That I bought this, so the prices probably were inflated.
Yeah, so mine was I think $150, just the rail or just the frame, and then I spent another $300 or so. I'm still waiting on the sights, but those should be here. It says tomorrow, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
I went with the nice Trigicon fucking night sights.
Yeah. And then this is another cool thing too. I grabbed this while I was there. This is my unmilled, unserialized 80% AR lower that I'm gonna slap a full size 300 blackout upper on. But anyways, what else you been thinking about, Nikki?
So
what other builds you got planned?
The next big one I'm gonna get is going to be a 338 Lapua Magnum. I'm thinking the Ruger precision rifle with 26-inch barrel. This thing can shoot 1.5 miles easy.
Yep.
I'm gonna have
Goddamn right.
I'm gonna have to slap on like a $2,000-$3,000 scope. So that way I can keep up with the rifle. The rounds are like $7 a shot. Like, I'm gonna be
Big dick.
I'm gonna be spending all in all like, and I'm gonna put a silencer on it too because you can't have something that long range and that big with not have a silencer.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Of course. What are we doing here?
But I'll probably be down like $6,000 all said and done.
Oh,
easy.
Plus, probably closer to 7 or 8.
Plus ammo. So, and then I have to find somewhere to shoot that.
Yeah, well, with the bipod and the chassis and everything, like if you modify the chassis and like, I guarantee you, as affordable, I should say, because I don't want to say cheap, as affordable as that Ruger is, that trigger's gonna be bullshit. You're probably gonna want like a badass, Geisley 2-stage or something.
I'm gonna bring it over to Hanover and be like, all right, make this shit competition ready.
Yeah, make this motherfucker frag. Shout out Hanover Armory, the boys.
Yep. Got my one boy actually works there. He says he can help us out with that there AR lower.
Yeah. We love that, honestly. We love that.
Having friends pays off.
Fuck yeah. And I'm antisocial as shit. But I love the guys over there. Like when I went and bought my last gun, I was like, oh yeah, I'm looking to get, I was like, I know you guys don't sell complete lowers. That's really all I need. They're like, oh, we can sell you a stripped one. And I was like, I mean, at that point, I'd rather just, I was like, I might as well just get an 80% and mill it. You know what I mean? At that point, it's like, the whole point is I don't really want to like serialize. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just get the whole gun. So I was talking to one of the guys there, and then, we're getting ready to do paperwork, and all their lowers are basically identical. They do come with, depending, they have different bolt carrier groups and shit in them. So I got one that's like a boron nickel bolt carrier group. But the intention of this last one I bought is to SBR it. I have I'm gonna SBR 2 rifles here soon. Like the right way, actually, even though I like hate the federal government. So I was talking to one of the guys, dude. He's like, "Oh, you want to SBR it?" He's like the SBR guy, apparently. He's like, "Oh, James, this guy wants to SBR his gun." And he comes over. He's like, "All right, this is what you need to do, and you need to do this and that." And it was like really cool because he like jumped right into it. I mean, they're all obviously gun guys there, and he shows me his kit, and he has a badass 5.56 upper that he built. I think it's 11.5 inches. With I don't know what kind of suppressor it's got on it, but this thing is fucking...
Was it that one with the tan suppressor and shit on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I saw that too, that same day. He had like EOTech optics on there, which I've heard iffy things about, but they not bad looking. He had some flip-up fucking irons. This thing had... it was kitted out. Like, it was a badass looking gun.
Infrared on the front, because he has nods. Like, the whole... I mean, this thing was like a proper kit. The upper was... Or the upper and lower custom, like everything in this gun was custom. He's like $5 or $6 grand into this AR. Mm-hmm. And then he showed me his little CZ Scorpion. Yeah. That also was a suppressor gun, but the suppressor's still in jail because Form 4s take 9 to 10 months, especially with the pandemic.
Forever.
And that's a badass little fucking compact package. And it's like we were just talking while we were doing all the paperwork, and I get delayed on every single background check because the NICS hates me, even though I've never committed
never been convicted of a crime.
I've never been convicted of a crime. Never been convicted of any crime other than speeding tickets. So anyways, it was just like a whole ordeal, but super cool guys down there. So Nick has been working on this Polymer 80, which he just now has completed recently. And then the long range kit is like the next item on his list. And then I don't remember if we were talking about an AR-10 as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a little AR-10 SBR because what would be more badass than getting fucking vibe checked by a 10-inch fucking 308? Like, that'd be badass.
Dude, the muzzle velocity is going to be dog water on that thing.
Oh.
Fucking muzzle velocity is going to be like 200 feet per second.
Oh, yeah. But you bet your ass it'll go through anything within fucking 30 feet of me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. And well, that'll be a nice intermediary. You get like a decent ACOG for that thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It'd be a decent...
And because that is a 308 short barrel, it will have to have a suppressor because you'll go deaf. And then don't care what ears you got on, you'll be fucking tinnitus.
Yeah. Your shit'll be ringing for like 2 weeks. Yeah, fuck that. And I don't want to fuck my hearing up any worse than it already is because my hearing's a little... I work in a fucking body shop, dude, so I'm hearing impacts and air chisels and...
Yep.
Fucking my shit right up.
I don't use earplugs and stuff like I'm supposed to. Yeah. According to OSHA.
I actually do use Ear Pro at the shop sometimes. If I'm like writing up a car and there's a guy in the next stall over hammering on something and I'm going to be there for like a long period of time, I'm going to put Ear Pro in. But
no, if it gets loud enough, I just leave and wait until the loudness goes away.
these fucking electricians, they're just like, fuck this. I'll go take a break. He fucks off, thumbs his asshole, smokes a cigarette for an hour.
Oh,
Just
for the last like 2.5 weeks, I have been playing on my phone so much because we're at the point in our this job that we're waiting on answers for everything else we have to do. And then one guy,
this fucking guy's texting me all day.
This one dude was quitting, so like he wasn't motivated, and then him being lazy was making me lazy.
Yep.
So it was bad.
I'll fucking do it, Chief. I'll fucking do her. So that's funny. So yeah, you're getting your kit together, your redacted hootenanny kit together, let's say. And I'm just building SBRs. I have a Polymer 80. Mine is a full frame. That is based off a Glock 17. I do not have a full frame. I do not own a full frame pistol. I have a SIG P365, but that's compact. And I quite enjoy it for a concealed carry option. But it just barely, it has like, you know, I don't know how to say this, like for a concealed carry, like I'm at the most putting, 24 rounds or whatever through it. Cause it's, if there's one in the gun and then there's one on me magazine, it's not like a shitload of ammo. So I can live with that, putting 30 rounds, let's say through a gun in a self-defense scenario, but long range situation and not physically shooting the firearm, but like, if I don't have to worry about the size of the firearm, I would prefer a full frame pistol if I'm open carrying it, let's say, in a hunting or other scenario.
Yeah, I was looking at holsters for this, and for Polymer 80s, finding a appropriate holster is weird. And then I wanted to get one that I could have the light, and I'm going to buy it for another fucking $20 for the cutout. Stupid. I'm gonna get a Vortex Venom red dot for it too, so that basically you run up and get done up. But this holster is like $130.
Woo!
Sheesh.
That shit better come in a blowjob. Holy shit!
Right?
$130.
And then I'm gonna buy like 2 mag carriers so I can be fucking strapped to the gills when I got this thing on me.
Yeah,
but
this motherfucker's gonna have 50 rounds on him.
I'm a little skinny, so this
Yeah.
big heavy fucking gun is gonna be weird to carry fucking in the waistband.
Dude, even carrying the 365 XL in the waistband is not. I mean, I'm still getting used to it, but it's not.
See, that's why.
You know what I mean?
Everyone can say whatever they want about the 380. That joint, I can wear it in fucking shorts.
Oh yeah, you wear that bitch in your, fucking in your boot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And everyone can bitch and moan all they want, but a 380 is just fucking 9mm with less powder. I'll fight them.
All right, dude. You sound like someone who's like, okay, actually, 5 inches is enough. It's the average penis size. Like that's what you sound like now defending the 380.
Hey,
dude, it's.
I'll put some fucking 380 sized holes in a motherfucker.
It's dude.
It'll be whatever.
It's not that deep. Like if you're pulling a 380 out, you just realize you're shooting unarmored targets. Like if you shoot a fat guy, you're fucked.
I mean, you pull a 9 out, you're shooting unarmored targets.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you shoot a fat guy with a 9, he's gonna die. You shoot a fat guy with a 45, he's gonna die. You shoot a fat guy with a 380,
he's gonna die.
He might have a round in his titty.
I've seen videos of guys my size taking like 5.6 9s and still fucking coming.
Oh yeah.
So like.
That's why my shit holds 21.
My shit holds an indeterminate amount.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't matter because you can own whatever the fuck you want. My shit holds 21 and 1 in the chamber, so you can fuck yourself. By the way, that reminds me, just a side note. I think that I'm trying to think how to word this diplomatically. I think that should you and I have our previous arrangement that we had prior to COVID on Saturday evenings.
Oh yes.
Should that come back to fruition again, I would suggest that the Polymer 80s might be the best choice for that.
I agree.
Scenario.
I definitely agree.
Even though it might be a little tough for me to get rid of the the big boy, the full frame, I think I can make it. I'd probably have to, as much as I know you hate it, I'd probably have to small of back carry it. But I think that I could conceal it small of back in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I think I could.
Plus,
because the way my frame is with the way my back.
Plus, we're sitting down most of the time, so like it gets rid of most of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
I appendix carry everything because that's the only way I can without fucking printing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, well, his cock is huge, so you can't see his gun inside his cock. W. So that's Nicky's builds. Nick's been hitting the ground running with the firearms recently, which is sick. I mean, Nick has tons of guns, but
I don't even know how many anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's got some really cool shit. He's got like a 30-30 lever action, bunch of other, 270 deer rifle, all kinds of cool shit.
Yeah, I've got 270, a bunch of 308s. I've got God knows how many shotguns. I've got this 9, the 1911, the 380. I've got fucking I have a 220-year-old Winchester pump action 22 that still works.
You still have the your AR too.
Oh yes,
which is a little. I think is that a 20-inch barrel or 18?
I think it's a 19.5.
I'm sure. Yeah, so it's almost 20-inch barrel.
And that's
Nick's more of a long range kind of guy.
I am. I'm built for the fucking far shot.
Yeah.
And I'll get some new optics for that, so I can make some pot shots from fucking 500 yards away.
Yeah, that'll do. That's a nice kit. I mean, your AR is what inspired me when Nick bought his AR. God, how long have you had that AR for?
A little over a
year and a half,
maybe. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that AR is pretty sick. I was a gun person, like I was a pro gun person, but never owned guns until I moved out because my parents hate guns because they're fucking scared of inanimate objects. But I went with Nick to go buy his first AR, which is that AR we're talking about. And at that point, I was sold. I was like, I need an AR-15, and now I have 2, about to be 3 when I get this receiver milled. But I guess I'll jump into that. So I have 2 complete AR-15s right now. Both are 16-inch barrels. One is a 300 blackout. The other one is a 5.56. I just bought and received a 12.5-inch carbine length BCM upper. So that's going to be my SBR for 5.56. And I have a 10.5-inch 300 blackout upper that's coming as well. That I plan to install. I think it's like a grid defense or something. It's not, it's not as fancy as a BCM upper. Because I couldn't get a BCM upper in 300 black because they're all fucking sold out. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna have 2 SBRs because I'm, Nick's the long range guy. I'm the in your fucking face kind of guy. And the 300 blackout SBR is actually gonna be a suppressor gun. So I'm looking into that. I mean, they both could be suppressor guns because I'm looking for. There's a suppressor I'm looking at. I think it's called a Dead Air Wolfman, if I'm not mistaken. So they have different lengths. Like you can screw an extra couple baffles on it, and then it's like 6.5 or 7 inches long versus cut down. It's like just over 5. So with the SBR coupled with the suppressor, it still is a relatively mobile gun. While it still does the purpose, it'll do 300 blackout. It'll do 5.56. It'll do 9. You can use it on a pistol and shit too. It's a really versatile suppressor. So that's like awesome. I think it's right around $1,000, which is, as far as I've gathered, about mid-range for a suppressor. I've seen them as high as 1,500. So.
Which I'm sure the one for the 338 is gonna be like fucking 15 at least.
I was gonna say that bitch probably gonna be $2,000, bro. And it sucks too, because with that suppressor, you're not gonna be able to use that with anything else. As big as that fucking thing is, it's gonna stay deadlocked on that.
It's gonna be dedicated for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be dedicated for that fucking, for that big boy. But yeah, so I'm working on those 2. I'm working on this Polymer 80. And then I have one 80% lower. I'm gonna get another one at some point for the 2 16-inch uppers that I talked about, because here's my philosophy. As far as the state is concerned, I have purchased 2 AR-15s that have serial numbers. If I SBR both of those because they already have serial numbers, whatever. Let's just say somebody were to show up and like confiscate my firearms for any unrelated political reason, as far as they're concerned, I have 2 serialized weapons. So I would also have these non-serialized lowers to attach to my existing uppers, 16-inch uppers. So that's pretty sweet. we're working on those. I'd like to buy a shotgun at some point in the near future. Kind of don't have a job right now, so so you know. But yeah, shotgun and probably some kind of bolt rifle, possibly a revolver. Nick and I were talking about. Nick wants to get a fucking big dick Smith and Wesson
500 S&W.
Goddamn hand cannon.
It is literally the most powerful handgun in the world.
I just don't. It's just like I don't even see it being fun to shoot.
Oh, I don't either. Like, it'll be scary, but I'll be goddamned if I didn't have the best handgun ever.
Oh my god!
Like,
I wouldn't be opposed to a 44.
Imagine someone like running you off the road and trying to pick a fight, and you pull out this dirty, hairy fucking cannon.
Dude, so that's the thing I was thinking about is like, you know, it's cool to carry polymer shit. It's cool to even carry like 1911, you know, some of the magazine. Like that's cool. I'm quite fond of 1911s. I like my Glocks. I like my Sig. You know, all that shit. That's cool. But there's something different about pulling out a revolver. Like even if it's a 357, like 350, don't get it twisted. 357 will fuck you up, right?
Oh yeah, Colt Python all the way.
But I was thinking, like, you go and get a fucking 44 Magnum, you know, like just like a regular ass. The one I sent Nick one the other day, it was like $1,200 or whatever for a 44 Magnum, and I think it was a 6-inch barrel, but it's like blued with the fucking standard wooden grip, and I'm just like, dude, you pull that motherfucker out, and like, even if you shoot him in the leg, even if you shoot him in the shoulder, you know, like something that's not gonna kill him, it's gonna fuck their day up, and it's gonna be loud as shit. You know, and the recoil, they're gonna see you put that, you know, stick that bitch out and shoot it. It looks like the gun's trying to throw itself behind you. You know, like Jesus Christ. But anyways,
so everything I'm reading, a SBR 308 is just unpleasant to shoot because it's pretty much field artillery. They said.
Fuck yeah.
And that's exactly what I want. If I'm rounding a corner and there's a person there. Yeah. There's not going to be a person there anymore. Plain and simple.
It's going to be vibe checking their plate. Hope them bitches is level 4, cuz.
Level 4s?
Yeah, so that'll probably eat some level 4s. Yeah.
Fucking...
Black tips.
10-inch barrel with some black tips.
There ain't much that won't... Yeah, that'll probably rip through a fucking tank, bro.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't much that won't rip through. Well, maybe not a tank. Probably not a tank. But that'll rip through a lot of shit.
Pretty much any standard armored car.
Yeah, I was going to say, that'll probably blast through a lot of broken bulletproof glass as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably go through a lot of shit.
I'll say the same thing I said when everyone was making fun of the fucking Tesla truck because he threw the ball bearing at it and the window cracked. It cracked. He threw like a 50 to 100 pound metal ball at it and all it did was crack. There's no such thing as bulletproof. It's bullet resistant. If I shoot a bulletproof piece of glass with a 50 cal more than twice, there's no more glass there.
Yeah. I would also suggest that if you're behind bulletproof glass that gets shot twice with a 50 cal, you either need to A, take cover, or B, drive better.
Yeah.
like
that. That's the whole point of it on vehicles. It's not to make you indefinitely safe. It's to save you from the first shot so you can get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, and hopefully expose the position of the shooter.
Yeah.
You know, because it's kind of hard to keep a 50 cal quiet.
And then we go to the 20 millimeter.
Oh my god, dude, this is fucking hard on for these 20 millimeter rifles.
I do, yo. As soon as I saw the first video of them busting avalanches from a helicopter with it, I was like, all right, I gotta have one.
That's so unnecessary.
This thing is literally like a cannon.
Dude, it's the one video you sent me. The guy shot it, and he's prone, and he's sliding back like a foot every time he shoots it. Like, dude, fuck that. I want to, like, I don't know. My philosophy, I feel, when it comes to firearms, is I am of the mindset it needs to work. It needs to be functional, for the most part. Like, there's obviously going to be like meme guns, you know, like the I want to get like a Henry repeating. Okay, there you go. I want to get like a Henry repeating rifle and 30-30. Nick has one. I don't think yours is a Henry,
no,
but
mine's Winchester.
And it's fun as shit to shoot. It's not really practical. I mean, a 30-30 will fuck you up, but like
I can shoot fast as fuck with a lever action rifle, and it is accurate as all hell. So like
that rifle is very accurate.
And no one's ever trying to ban lever actions. I can do
Yeah.
as much damage, if not more, with a lever action than I can with a AR. Plus,
Shit, I do. You give me a Benelli that holds 6, and I'll do more damage than AR.
yeah, like they make lever actions in 4570, which is a large game round, which means I can kill buffalo with that.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure people hunt elephants with those.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
I literally looked up 4570 lever action, and it came up elephant gun.
Yeah. Goddamn elephant gun. What are we doing here? That thing will fuck your life up. So, like, yeah, there's no plate on Earth. There's no body armor on Earth that's going to stop a 4570. I mean, I think a 3030 would probably do some fucking damage, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Plus, I can fire off an entire tube of 3030 in like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what plates you have. You're probably going to be bleeding internally at the very
I would
least.
say, bare minimum, you're on your ass for me to run up and one tap you. So, Nikki Three Legs and I are planning to do some training before too long.
Tactical drills.
Yeah, I want to. I think that area where we shoot down into, if we cross the river where it's more flat.
Oh, yeah, we could
think
set
we
up
could do
some targets and shit to be able to.
Yeah, even the closer quarter kind of stuff, just where it's more like linear for the sense of, just to like from low ready get on target and put 2 in someone, put 2 in the next one.
Yep.
Reloads one, reload another one, shit like that. Because there are some low round count drills we can do that are like kind of feasible, especially while ammo is as crazy expensive as it is. So cool, man. Gun stuff. That's awesome. I need to get my paperwork done for the ATF.
Fuck the ATF.
Yeah, I know, but I'm so ass mad about the Hughes Amendment, dude. I'm still mad about it.
I'm gonna put a picture up here in the video of what I think of the ATF.
Yeah, so that wait, hold on, wrong way. That is what we think of the ATF.
Yeah.
But I would prefer not to get arrested for some dumb shit. Like, it'll be just my luck. I'll be driving to Nick's house to go shoot, and they'll be like, "Do you have any guns in the car?" And I'm gonna be like, "No." And then they're gonna have some kind of gun sniffing dog, or they're gonna be like, "It smells like pot in there," and I'll be like, "Well, I don't smoke pot." And then you know how it fucking goes.
In Maryland, smell is not an admissible reason to search a vehicle anymore.
It smells like gun in here.
Smells like gun in here.
It smells like you got a gun in the car, motherfucker. And dude, just my luck. I'll get popped on some dumb shit. And that's the thing is like, SBRs are treated like machine guns. So if you have an unregistered SBR, you can still go to jail. I think the mandatory minimum is 5 years.
I think so.
It might even be more. So it's like, dude, you're gonna go 5 years over a barrel length. Like, I'll pay the $200. It's not that deep to me. Like,
I'm gonna buy a double barrel side by side 12 gauge, and I'm gonna saw that bitch right here on my desk. I'm gonna make me a sawed off.
I mean, you're willing to accept the consequences. I'm good, but I don't know. Last time you ever went, well, let me not say that. Anyways, next topic. So, yeah. What else? What else are you thinking, Nicholas?
I'm spacing on what else we talked about. I know we
can talk about the daily episode simping for what's her fucking tits.
Yeah, I haven't talked to her much because
What's her name? I don't even know her name. Hit me.
I'm not gonna fucking just say an actual name.
No, come on. What's her fucking name? I'll pull it up. Hold on. Nah, you're gonna edit it out. I don't leave it.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
I
yeah,
control
Shorty.
this.
Shorty in the Wussa name. Yeah.
But she's still fine as fuck. But because I've been on the bike every time that podcast goes live, I've been bullshitting with them very much.
Sad. Pain, suffering, agony.
It's bound to happen as the weather gets nicer. I'm going to be on my computer and shit less and less.
Yeah, I'm a neckbeard, so I'll still be on my computer and shit.
I was
playing video games.
I was listening to the live chat today while I was riding around on my bike because I can obviously pull it up on my phone. I was having issues with the call, so I'm sitting there pushing buttons on the phone while I'm riding down the road.
This fucking guy's like texting and riding.
Hey, I've got cruise control. I could do that.
I was gonna say I knew a guy who has a Ducati, a 1099 Panigale, I think, and it's got cruise control and shit, so he'd be texting and riding. I'm like, you are fucking retarded.
Let's say mine never leaves the little stand thing I have.
The ramp mount, yeah.
And
Couldn't be me.
Only time I do is when I take it off, so I can reorient it because it'll turn sideways from when I turn sometimes.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, and I'm
That's annoying, especially if you're trying to do shit.
trying to read the GPS sideways.
Yeah, I've always used standard Apple. I'm an Apple guy. Nick's an Android guy, but the Apple iPhone has the earphones, the specialized ones that have the little clicker, so you can turn your volume up and down. You can skip the song. So I always use those when I was riding. Plus, it's nice to have a physical connection to your device. But I would always use those. And you can also, if you stuff it had the little selector piece in the wire. You can stick it up in your helmet and use it as a mic. You can like talk to people, so it's like a half-ass Bluetooth device. You can use that instead of.
Yeah.
So I've always listened to directions and stuff when I was riding.
I have a helmet with Bluetooth, but I stopped using that because I didn't like the quality enough. So I got the pair of Slim Buds that have a wind-resistant mic that sits on your chin. And so because I can control that all through the screen on my bike, I'm sitting there making phone calls, talking and everything. And everyone's like, are you driving with the windows down? I was like, kinda.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that's the funny thing too is Siri. I don't know if it still does it, but on my phone, you used to be able to yell at Siri, tell it to answer phone calls. So I'd be riding and people would be like, "What the fuck is that noise?" I'm like, "I am doing 120 down Route 70." What's that noise? I'm doing a wheelie.
I'm waiting for the phone calls as I'm trying to do a wheelie.
Yeah, it happens. Old Nicky Three Legs is trying to get the front wheel up a little bit. He had actually a video the other day of him popping it up pretty decent and pretty smooth for being a newbie.
For the first one.
Yeah, I was a little bit of a wild man when I had my bikes. I had two. I technically wrecked both of them, but the first one I totaled. The second one, a deer ran into the side of me. It was fine, and then I sold it to Nick. But
yep, and I sold it to some schmuck in PA.
Yeah, some fuckface. Yeah, I rode the shit out of it. I probably put 20,000 miles on 600s. I've ridden a lot of 600s. Ridden a couple thousands, like friends' thousands.
It was really funny today because my GoPro was dying, so I'm fishing a charger cord out of my jacket pocket. I'm plugging it into the GoPro while I'm riding down the road, plugging it into the bike, have the cord from my bike to the GoPro.
Nice. This motherfucker on some X Games mode shit. Like, his whole shit is kitted. He's, like, damn near strapped into the bitch with a seatbelt at this point.
Pretty much. It'd be sounding nice as fuck without the baffles.
That thing does sound... She purrs like a kitten, man.
And I gotta figure out something better for the plate, because the Velcro ain't cutting it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I gotta figure out some sort of latch or something that I can do easily.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it. But I think between the two of us, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I always use the locking hinges, kitchen hinges. What is the statute of limitations for that?
I don't know. I thought it was flipped up yesterday when I drove back from my dad's, but... I guess it came down and it looked like somehow my plate got bent, even though it's nowhere near anything that could bend it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened. But I guess the 15-pound Velcro was not enough.
Okay, 3 years. So it's been more than 3 years since I've done this. So back in the day when I used to run from the cops all the time on my motorcycles, I had these little kitchen hinges that would lock, like the cabinet doors where they would lock open or lock closed. You can buy them at Home Depot for like $10 for two of them. And on the undertail of my bike, up towards the front of the tire, because it had an undertail exhaust, it was a Ninja 636. I would put those hinges where I could reach down and flip the tag so the tag faced the underside of the bike. So I'd blow tolls all the time. I have probably blown, if I had to think between the ICC, which is a toll road that has cameras in it, between the ICC, the Bay Bridge toll, the Harbor Tunnel toll, and I think that's the only tolls, and then like miscellaneous tolls in other states or wherever I've been, I've probably blown $500 to $600 worth of tolls. I used to blow the Bay Bridge toll like it was my job. Dude, I went to go, I rode my bike down to Ocean City. My parents have a spot down there, a condo. And I was going down, and if I leave on Friday, since working at body shops, you usually are working until 5 or 5:30. I would usually leave like late because it's like I'm not gonna sit in traffic, especially in a motorcycle. Fuck that. So I'd leave at like 10 o'clock at night, and I'd get to the Bay Bridge 10:30, 10:45, whatever. So that late at night, even on a Friday in the middle of summer, it's usually like there are cars, obviously, but it's pretty dead. And they have an easy pass lane where you can, if you have a little transponder in your car, you can go through, it'll scan it, just debit your account for the money, right? Whatever. It's nice in practice, except there's my dumbass doing like a buck. I'd literally have done triple digits through that motherfucker. Just blowing through it, tag flipped up, flipping them off.
I'm pretty sure where my tag's at, they can't see it from a camera anyways, but I don't want to chance that quite yet.
I mean, you could always find a cheap toll and blow it and see what happens.
Yeah, like they're gonna send.
But actually, now that I think about it, the tolls have been put on hold temporarily.
Have they?
Because my painter was telling me the painter I used to work with was telling me he could commutes from like Elkton, like bumfuck Maryland. He was going through the toll forever, and I guess he forgot to put money on his Easy Pass account. Figured out later. Anyways, he should have owed a bunch of money on his toll, but they only sent him one bill for like $5 or $4 or whatever the fee is. But they just sent him the one bill recently, so he had blown it like months ago, and then they just sent him a bill like a week or two ago. So it's like super delayed.
Or I could always just
be careful.
Could always just wheelie through the toll.
That's an option.
And then
that's an option.
Then the plate is facing down.
Exactly. It's the same but different. Yeah.
And then I could find on, because I'm sure they'd post it on their police website or something, trying to find the person.
Yeah. Do you know this jack
I could get a sweet picture of me doing a wheelie.
Yeah. Well, dude, so that's the thing is I always wondered, like, when I had my first bike, I was much more delinquent when I had I was 19 years old with a 600cc motorcycle. No, like, I'm all for liberty, right? But like in practice, not in theory, in practice, no one under the age of 21 should have a 600. It is what it is. I'm sorry. I don't care how good, how smart you are or how well thought out. Your brain is just like, I want to go fast. That's why you don't buy a 600 to go slow. Oh, no one does.
If I had a motorcycle in high school, I'd be dead.
I'm lucky I'm not. I'm lucky I'm not. I totaled mine. I had a fucking guardrail like 60 miles an hour. Broke my back, broke my leg. I got a titanium rod in my shit. I'm lucky I'm still alive. So like, me personally, I was a little reckless with that thing. But yeah, dude, I used to, I wondered because I always had the same motorcycle jacket and the motorcycle was very distinct looking, let's say. It wasn't just a blue motorcycle. It was like multicolored in a weird way, and I had the same gear, so I always looked the same riding it. You know what I mean? So I always wondered, is like, if I'm riding down like, I don't know, Washington Boulevard or whatever, for example, and a cop sees me, even if he's going the opposite way or like any situation where he couldn't engage me, there's just no shot. Like, I always wondered if they're like, there goes that motherfucker. Like, I always wondered if I had a reputation with the local police department. Because I would run cops and park my shit for like 3 or 4 days. And that bike wasn't registered. That bike didn't have I would ride that bitch without a tag. Just nothing on it. Fuck them.
The biggest issue with my bike now is it is a very uncommon bike, and it is a very memorable bike. So
yeah,
if I do something fucked up and someone sees me doing something fucked up,
you're kind of fucked.
Everyone's gonna know it was me.
Yeah.
Because I know of 1 or 2 other people in Maryland who have one.
Yeah. So there you go. And it's, I mean, Gixxer or 600s are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a Gixxer.
Everyone's got a Gixxer.
So it's like that first bike that I totaled, that bike was fucking like just, you know, whatever. It wasn't that deep, but like I always wondered because of like the amount of people who have motorcycles in the area that I live in. That was ridiculous. Although, yeah, well, as many people that have motorcycles, mine, although it was a frequent, like a GSXR is not like a unique bike at all, it still was the only one of its kind in my area that again, as far as I'm aware. And like, I rode that thing like a bat out of hell, bro. There was the last month and a half or one of the months I had it, I don't know if it was July or June. Every day it wasn't raining, I topped the bike out. Literally every single day. I was just like, I want to see if I can do this.
So speaking of bikes, my dad's been texting me because he's getting his bike license. Old man's gonna go riding.
Huge.
He
Huge.
he was originally going for a used bike because like cheaper, whatever.
You
But
want to? Yeah.
he's having issues finding one he likes, so he started
Yeah.
looking at local dealers.
Oh boy.
So he sent me a picture of like a Suzuki 250 brand new that he liked, and now he just sent me from the same shop I just got my FTR from
No.
a Indian Scout Bobber,
No.
which
Dude, please tell your dad to get a used bike. Like even if it's something he doesn't like, please. Because he's gonna drop that motherfucker. He's going to. You know he's gonna do it.
luckily for,
You did it, I did it, everyone's gonna do it.
luckily for me, I had the brand new Harley when I started riding, but I also bought your bike, and I dropped
Yeah.
the one I bought from you and not the
Yeah.
Harley.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, man, you can't do that.
But
You can't do that.
the good thing for him is he will not be doing extended rides like I do, or like anyone who really rides.
But that's all the more reason to buy a used one. Because you're doing more shit in the parking lot. You don't have your skill set up.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, listen, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. I'm just saying. I am pretty experienced in this realm, and I would highly recommend. I mean, whatever. It's not that deep, but like, especially if he's gonna like keep it for a while.
Right.
If he keeps the fucking thing for 10 years, who gives a fuck? It's his bike. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know about all that, Chief.
Yeah. The hardest things to do on bikes is going slow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
100%. Like he's been, and he doesn't have like a super good place to practice. So he's been doing like figure eights in the grass fields and stuff. And I'm like, that's entirely different from on pavement.
Different fucking story.
So
And when every bike rides, and you know this, because you've ridden a bunch of different types of bikes. Every style of bike rides differently.
because he's
The power delivery, the brakes.
he's practicing on a Harley Iron 883 right now because that's what my aunt's husband has.
Christ Almighty.
So then he's going to be doing the 250s, the Suzuki 250s that the fucking class has. And he's not going anywhere near my bike. He won't even move it. Like
That thing's pretty savage.
I
think it's pretty fucking savage.
especially because I keep it on sport now. Like I'm ready to go. But,
Oh yeah.
But I told him I was like, well, I'll drive the bike out to a parking lot for you, and we can do some fucking low speed drills. So you get, because I think his test or whatever is on Sunday. But it wouldn't be my bike. It'd be my aunt's husband's bike. So
I know, but that's not the kind of bike that you want to. I mean, is he actually going to take the class, or is he just going and taking the test?
He's taking the class. He did the two
Okay, he'll be fine then.
two class things, and then Saturday and Sunday is his things.
I will say this: so I took my motorcycle license class after I had already gotten probably 6,000 or 7,000 miles of ride time on a 600cc sport bike. So that was pretty butter for me. I didn't drop the bike once. I got a perfect score on both tests, written and practice. But that's because I had tons of riding experience. Like, there were people that were pretty good, like just from what I could see, that were like struggling. So I wish him good luck.
The only times I had been on two wheels was I rode a dirt bike once in high school, and then when I wanted to take the class, I fucked around on the Iron 883 and fell over in the grass. And
it's a good place to fall over.
It was. And that was a heavy bike to get back up. It was like 500, 540, I think. And I weigh like $170.
Soaking wet.
And but as soon as I was done with the class, I finished the class Sunday. I went to the MVA Monday, and straight from the MVA, I went to Harley and bought my first bike.
Fucking wild, man.
And I was ready to go. Like after that class, like I felt good to go on the road. And I took it slow, just like local back road shit, and then it went fast.
Yeah, open her up, get her did.
Yeah,
fuck it.
But
I'll never forget the first time I merged on the highway on that bike. Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
I only got on Route 15 for like half a mile today, but goddamn, if that wasn't a quick half a mile.
Let me tell you, man, dude. There are some. If there were three things I could do over again in my life, like experience again for the first time, be merging onto the highway on a street bike for the first time, doing an oxy for the first time, cream pie for the first time. If I could do those 3 things over again, like if I could like snap my fingers and never have experienced that and do them all over again, I would give so much money, my left nut, so much.
Yeah, so since my dad is going to take the test on Sunday, I'm going to go over there on my bike and antagonize them.
It's all fun and games until one of the MSF guys is like, why don't you try that on your fancy new bike? And then you're just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Don't know about that one, Chief.
Yeah. Ooh. Look at the time. I got to go. Something came up.
Especially because he's taking the class with the people that taught my class, so
Nice.
They know me.
Yep. Nice.
There was only one person that failed when I did the class. It was a father and a son, and the father failed, but the son didn't.
Nice.
I felt bad, and he just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
That was the one time I had like, first time really I had a bad fall. It was the first time we were trying to take a turn. I didn't look through the turn, and they told us, they're like, if you don't look through the turn, you're gonna end up in that bush, and that's right where the fuck I ended up.
That's right where Nick parked her. Yeah, I'm lucky I had experience, especially the box. God, the box, man, the box is a bitch.
Oh yeah,
the box was fun.
The box was a bitch, and then the figure eights was a bitch.
The box for me wasn't that bad though, because I just got to the point of where I was like, I'm just gonna power this motherfucker. And like once you just like full commit, like the box, you have to commit.
Oh yeah.
Even if you feel like you're gonna fuck up, you just have to commit to it. And when you commit, you're fine.
The only spot I got a point taken off in the class was the right turn from a stop, as I took the turn too wide. But everything else, I was good.
Yeah.
And now I have no issues taking tight turns because I've done it so much.
Well, one thing they taught me in motorcycle class that I didn't apply until later was dragging the rear brake. At really low speeds, I would never, like, it always bothered me. I hated having my feet hanging out of my bike unless I was like coming to a stop. So my feet, if I'm going over 2 miles an hour, my feet are on the pegs.
Yep.
That's just how I prefer to ride. It's preference. Taking off from a stoplight, like I'm not putting my foot down until the last second. It's just preference. So when I'm creeping through a parking lot at 2 miles an hour, I'm just dragging the rear brake a little bit. It's just comfortable. I don't know. It's nice. And then if you're like in a stall, you pull it in, rev it up a little bit, you know, slip the clutch, do what you got to do. But it's all preference. As far as I can tell, it's all preference.
I think I've only stalled out on the road once, and that was the second time I went on the road.
Oh, man. I don't know if I've ever stalled a motorcycle.
And that was because it was pretty bad traffic there in Clarksville at a light. And it was a quick recovery, obviously, but...
Right. Yeah, stalling is like an L. Even it's like stalling a car or whatever. Is just like it's like so tragic.
I don't think I've ever stalled a manual on the road, like a car.
I have. I've stalled a Subaru 2 or 3 times when I first got it because I wasn't.
That's
like,
I mean, that thing's got a pretty
clutch.
touchy clutch too.
Yeah, it's a. I think it's stage 3 or stage 4. I haven't installed the new clutch. The new clutch is fucking butter. Love the new clutch, but yeah, I think it was a stage 2 South Bend when I first got it, and I wasn't used to it. And it wasn't even the first time I drove it. Like I drove it fine for a week, and then like the second or third week I had it, I stalled it like 2 or 3 times because I was like getting cocky. Thought I could drive it, couldn't. But yeah, I like heavy clutches. If I was keeping the Accord, I'd put a fucking stage 2 or 3 in that bitch daily. I don't give a fuck. I love heavy clutches. But speaking of Subarus, I think I'm gonna have parts in 2 or 3 weeks, dude.
Really? Is it?
I think it's. I have to double check, but I think I
ordered those. Drivable then?
I mean, it's drivable now. It just has a suspension thing that I haven't figured out. It makes a noise. It rattles over bumps. It's like it sounds like a sway bar, but it's not a sway bar. I checked the bushings. I checked the end links. I think it might be the top hats of the struts, and I would really hate to have to pull all the struts out of that thing and put new coilovers in it.
Yeah.
For the fact of like, I think BC Racings, which are in it, they're great coilovers. I think they're like $800. They only come in a set. I think they're $800 or $900. And the fact of just putting them in is such a cunt, and then you have to get the lines, and I just don't want to do that because I'm lazy. So we'll see. But when that dude, the turbo kit's gonna come in, that thing is gonna be fast as fuck, boy. I can't wait.
As fuck, boy. Oh, so some breaking news here. I am just reading this now as of today. A man concealed carrying in a gun-free mall saves bystanders from shooting.
Come on back. My fucking guy.
Father pulls...
And guess what? That dude's going to jail.
Yep.
And he shouldn't. And he's going to fucking jail.
Yep. A father pulls out his concealed carry weapon in a weapons-free Nebraska mall to protect his family and others from a fatal shooting unfolds. What's this homie's name? Like, I'm gonna send him some money for the commissary.
Bro, I'll put $150 in his fucking shit. I'll put some money on his books.
Omaha Westroads Mall. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything about any dead yet, so that's good. Good news.
It's a fucking shame though, because that guy's gonna get crucified. You know what I mean?
He is. And
he's a hero, and he's gonna get crucified.
He's legitimately a hero. He has done more to save those people than any gun law ever will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is like, you know, contrary. This is a little bit contrary to Nick. I'm a little bit more moderate on the gun control stuff. I think that there has to be some line in the sand. Nick is an all gun laws are infringements kind of guy. I'm a memer, so I think it's funny, but like, I genuinely believe there has to be, the state has some legitimate role, and there have to be some laws that, you know, exist in relation to firearms. I'm not quite sure. I'm writing a manifesto. I'm still trying to do research and figure that out. But there is some evidence to suggest the NFA has been relatively successful at what it does. As much as that pains me to say.
So the mall officials had people shelter in the bathrooms, and this dude stood outside the bathrooms with his gun as guard. Like,
goddamn right.
This dude is a fucking homie. Like,
yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a shame. He'll probably, at the bare minimum, even if it was a justified shooting, bare minimum, he's going to get, you know, carrying a weapon, whatever the charge would be for that. Because I'm sure he was outside of carrying in a gun-free zone. He was entirely.
He was
legit.
legal.
I'm sure he had PCW and all that other shit.
And as soon as the police showed up, he emptied the bullets and put his gun down, put his hands up.
Right.
Like, he followed the shit that he should have done, and he kept people safe. Like, I have nothing but respect for this man.
Yeah, I don't even think he should be charged.
Nope.
I'm sorry, and maybe it's a hot take, but it's like...
Oh. Law enforcement officers also did not charge him for having a gun in a weapons-free zone. W.
Now, see, that is a prime example, right? That is a prime example, because that guy went home to his family. And I'm sure he has things to grapple with, because it sounds like he took a life. I'm sure he has things he's going to have to grapple with psychologically and philosophically and all the other, you know what I'm saying? We're talking, taking a life is something that is definitely not to be taken lightly, but
it doesn't,
at the end of the day, he gets to load his gun, put it back on his hip, and go home to his family.
It doesn't look like he had to kill anyone. 2 brothers, both teenagers, were arrested in connections to a suspected gang-related shooting. And 1 person dead, it seems. So that's
okay.
That's
and I don't know if it's the 2 guys who were shooting or if that's their victim.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right. The investigation indicates it's an isolated incident and not just a random attack. So it is still really weird, and this is my conspiracy theory hat for a second. Really weird. How as soon as people start pushing hard for gun control again, a lot of shootings start to happen again. Like
Nicholas,
a lot of high priority shootings or high profile.
So the truth is, the data. So I am not putting blind trust in the government. Let me be very clear, and I'm not suggesting that some of these aren't a little curious. Does that make sense? But I am suggesting that there is data out there that bears you can come to the conclusion with the available data that, number one,
what happened? All right, everybody, it looks like that is the end of our podcast for today. I don't know if it was Maxie that lost connection or me, but this has been the Top Keck Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us anywhere that there is anywhere that there is podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, whatever. And have a good one.